A little bit of measuring to see if my guesstimate is correct. So what I'm doing is I'm going from his anterior hairline to posterior hairline, and then finding midline would be right there. That would be 6 and 6. And to me, if I look at that, I could go like this: 1, 2, 3, 4. Looks like it should be a little bit back further. Make it 1 sun. 1, 2, 3, 4. What I'm looking at and why I'm doing this is seeing, does the space between my fingers appear to be the same as the space between the star and my left index finger? And to me it does. So I'm going to guess that Mr. 20 is right there. Now the other thing that I could do, I'm going to do the ears on both sides. No, I told you completely wrong when I was describing it. What we're doing is we're trying to fold the ears from the lobe to the apex, gently, because it hurts. And then that line should be where the star is. So the intention is to fold the ears so that the apex and the tip of the lobe are, can you say that, are the fold marks. And if I do that, and then I draw a line from the apex, I get to the star. And that should indicate where 220 is. Maybe I should have you face this way. Okay. So,
oops, sorry.
I'm not going to put a star in the final one. Or maybe this one. Except that this is better for both. But I'm going to put one on bladder 2. I palpate and I can feel a little depression. Bladder 2. I'm making lines directly straight up within the hairline, 0.5 sun. Now, probably what I should be doing at this point, before I put my 0.5 sun sticker on, is measuring this distance, 2, 3, 4, so that I know for sure that his 0.5 is right there. And then the other point behind that, which would be on 1 sun posterior to midline. 1.5 sun lateral, also within the hairline by 0.5 sun, is going to be where bladder 4 is. Now, how did I get to my 1.5 sun? I'm finding his midline, I'm finding where his bladder 8 is, I'm looking for 1/3 of the distance. It's going to be a little bit closer. This should be about where his 1.5 sun line is.
Is it parallel? Is it like a straight line cubal? It looks straight forward. I'm just looking at it from an angle over here. So, no.
Is it going to be right above his eye when he's looking straight forward? No, that would be the 2.75 line. If this is 4.5, when his eyes are looking straight forward, it should be in the middle of that.
So you go like
2.25. Yes. Is it? Does it look like it's directly?
Yeah, it looks pretty close.
Well, then we better be a little bit more this way. And this should be a little bit more this way. This is very rough. But we want this to be on a 1.5 sun line. And this should be the 2.25 line.
Sorry, where is the 1.5 sun line?
1.5 sun line should be right around here. It should be just a little bit lateral to the medial canthus.
Okay.
Probably somewhere between the midline and the medial canthus.
Okay.
So, I take his hairline, I take his 220, and I put 4 fingers in between to indicate one sun increment. I know that bladder 4 is 0.5 sun, 0.5 sun from the hairline at the 1.5 sun mark. And bladder 5 then is 1 sun from the hairline. And I know where that is because I've used my fingers this way. So bladder 5 is within 1 sun, Bladder 6 then is going to be 2.5 cents, correct? And that's the easy one because I can just measure the distance and put my mark there. For Bladder 7, because we memorized it, it's 4 cents from the hairline, still on the 1.5 cent mark. And Bladder 8 will be 1.5 cents posterior to Bladder 7. And here I'm just measuring what my 1.5 cent, making sure that they're all equidistant. Okay.
If, like, some of the gallbladder line, like gallbladder 15, etc., is in line with the pupil when the eye is looking straight forward, aren't they all 1.5 cent away from the midline?
No, the bladder line is 2.25 because they're level with, some of them are level with the eyes when they're looking straight forward, and some of them are located with the outer canthus, 13, 14, 15. Exactly. It's not a very good job. I mean, but it's pretty close for this. Okay, now, Bill, can you give them your back? Show them your hook. Okay, so when we're trying to find hooks, we need to first find, do 15 and 16. Do 16 is going to be on the midline, at the inferior border of external occipital protuberance, which I find by running my finger up like this. And there is his do 16. Do 15 then is going to be located midway between do 16 or the inferior border of the EOP and his posterior hairline. So we'll put his do 15 right there. Now Douglas tells us that bladder 10 is located level with do 15 on the lateral border of the trapezius, which I surmise to be right there. And when he does this, I can feel an articulation. So there's his bladder 10 right there. And how many cun lateral to midline is bladder 10? 1.3, correct. Then to find bladder 9, what we do is slide our fingers up, go past the ridge of the external occipital protuberance into that slight depression right there. So bladder 9 is where I just made the white spot. Okay. And there is a nice little depression there, too. Okay. So we're going to use a different back for, do we need to do these phone testing points again, or should we find these ones first and then take a little break and locate follow up from somebody else? Okay. Okay. Shut the camera.